Roll call, please.
Michael Chandler.
Here.
Kel Crane.
Here.
Jordan DeLon.
Here.
Tabitha Denny.
Here.
Terry Hickey.
Here.
Terry Hodges.
Here.
Dusty Mabel. Kenny Smith.
Here.
Rick Wall.
Here.
Michael Woodley.
Here.
Sheriff Brock, will you lead us in a word of prayer?
For your blessing on us, for being with us throughout the day. As we come together tonight, I pray that you would help the commission, Lord, in their decision making, give them guidance and wisdom. Pray for your blessing upon Van Buren County and its citizens, Lord. Help all of us who try to serve them to the best of our ability. In Jesus' name, amen.
And say the pledge to the flag. I guess we're about to item number 5 on the agenda. Motion to dispense reading of minutes special call meeting on December the 6th, of 22.
Chairman, I'll make the motion.
Ms. Denny, need a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. All right. Number 6, minutes of Committee A report. Mr. Crane?
Let's see here. See, Committee A meeting. We met January 3rd. All members were present. First order of business that we spoke on was the transfer funds on ARP grant money. Now, Mrs. Zeta Hillis may explain this better than I can, but from what I understood from it, it brought a resolution to transfer the ARP funds, that Van Buren County allocation of 2.1 plus million from their total allocation of 2.5 plus million, be transferred to the City of Spencer's Utility Department to be used for the system from Caney Fork River Water Line project. There will be a remaining balance of $475,000 to be transferred to Bledsoe County for water system improvements to Fall Creek Falls Utility District. Now, the motion was made by Tabitha Denny and seconded by Terry Hickey to approve and bring forth the full commission. And all members were in favor. Ms. Zeta, could you explain, if anybody has any questions, or explain it a little bit further? So the way I understand it is it's just basically taking it out of the county's hands and putting it in the city. You want to say the back to us?
We had that turned around today, sorry.
What this is basically doing, they had contacted us, and there was like 280-something applications that have been submitted from all the counties and cities combined. And since the city is getting money, City of Spencer and Bledsoe County is getting money, and Van Buren County was already agreeing to allocate in your application those funds, the SWIG money, which had to be used for water infrastructure, stormwater projects, to those 2 utility districts. The state contacted us and asked us if we would work with you guys to transfer that funds to those entities on their application, which would eliminate Van Buren County's application. It's less paperwork, less administrative work for the state, and it also, if you look at the resolutions that I provided, it completely absolves the responsibility of Van Buren County of administration, reporting, contractual agreement, and dealing with the project and have it included in your annual audit. So it's a win-win for the county. You were going to give this money to those 2 districts anyway. You'd already approved that last year. And this just eliminates your application in its entirety. Once you pass these resolutions tonight, Bledsoe County has already agreed to accept it. Fall Creek Falls has agreed to the transfer, and the City of Spencer has agreed to accept the transfer on their application. We will make those amendments to the existing applications. We'll delete Van Buren's application, and you guys won't have to administer one or have one on the SWIG money. Now, your other ARP money is a different story. This is only for the the utility infrastructure funds. Any more questions?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second, do we need a roll call, Lisa?
Michael Chandler. Cale Crane.
Yes.
Jordan DeLon. Tabitha Danny.
Yes.
Terry Hickey.
Yes.
Terry Hodges. Kenny Smith. Rick Wall.
Yes.
Michael Woodley.
Yes.
Carried. Anybody wish to change their vote?
We have a solid waste fee that's being requested to be excluded. It is a well house that Mr. Clarence May Jr., or Madewell Jr. owns on his property, and it's not a, from our understanding, it's just where motion was made by Terry Hickey and seconded by Jordan Long to approve the request. All members were in favor. I think we have another one. Do we want to bring it on up while we're doing it?
Bring it up under new business.
Okay, okay.
Since this is handled by Committee A, I'm going to bring it up under new business in a few minutes.
Nobody has any questions? I'd like to just go ahead and make a motion to approve.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Is it, Rick?
that all you had?
Yeah, just those two items.
Chairman, I had a question about some business that came up before Committee A, just to get some clarity. I noticed in the documents, there was some documents about the daycare, and I think the skylights.
If you notice on the daycare, that didn't come up under the committee itself.
Not officially, I noticed
It
that.
was not official. I got that when the fire marshal did an inspection the other day, and I wanted y'all to have the information that I have, because this will be used at a future date. I wanted to make sure that you had everything in hand that I have. I'm
Right.
not going to keep anything from you, and it wasn't anything for them to... Well,
Is
it
that the
wouldn't-
kind of thing that would normally come up with Committee B? I'm just trying to get clarity on land and buildings, and, because I've been asked that by a couple of members in the community also about what goes before which committee, so.
Well, it's a hard decision. When you have money and when you have building, had you rather me just call both of you together at one time instead of hurting somebody's feelings?
I don't know.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? It is so hard when you try to decide when you got money dealing. The only reason I gave you that was just try to better give you all information ahead of time, so if somebody on the street runs you down and says, "What did the fire marshal say?" Well, then you have to say, "Well, I don't know." Well, I'm trying to give you all the information now.
I appreciate
You know what I'm
that,
saying,
yeah.
It was not, right now, I'm still waiting on the state to do one other thing. They have got to send the people to do the architect is the next step. And so as soon as I get that, then I can contact somebody. But until that happens, it's just like one address on that property there shows Spring Street. Then the other one, it does. And so we've had to refile everything twice to get it to the location that 911 has got it at. 911 has got it on Spring Street, and that's the very back street. So I had this in my hand, and so I just went ahead and was giving it to you just for info. And I wrote at the top in very plain letters.
No, I saw that. It was
You know
for
what I'm saying?
informational.
This is information only, because it's not time for nobody to have anything at this time. And that,
I don't want to duplicate work for sure. I'm just trying to get some clarity. If it's not involving a monetary decision? Is that something we expect to get on Committee B? And then when it comes to the
But
money?
when it comes time, Committee B will be getting it.
Okay.
Because here's another situation, and since we got this brought up, the lady from the state, she says, you're gonna have to bid this off. You're gonna have to put it in the paper. So do both committees want to meet at one time to draw a resolution up, or does Committee B want to do it, or Committee A? You know what I'm saying? If I'm doing something wrong, I want you to tell me, but you can tell me in private just as easy as you can right like this.
Well, I'm just trying to get some clarity on,
Well, I know, but I'm trying to get clarity too.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's,
Well, part of the reason I'm asking also is maybe with the Cranes being involved in the daycare, there's a conflict of
all right,
interest there.
Let's go to that issue now. I knew that one was gonna come up. When you start trying to chase this, Ms. Crane had started a private one by herself, you know, for a grant, I guess, through the state, if I'm not mistaken. You tell me if I'm wrong. All right, she had started one. Then I guess Greg, somebody contacted her, or the state one, I don't know who, contacted her and says, let Van Buren County do this right here because they can get grants for you. So then the day that, if you'll remember, when I invited everybody over there to the health department for the meeting over there that day, guess what? I was supposed to be up there at the Masonic building at the same time. And I chose to go there, and that's the reason my name is not on the documents there. Right now, they're calling the state back to change the name because they think that it may be not a proper thing for it to go on through like it is. And so the state's recommendation is that it's got to be properly bid out, which we hadn't come to that. That's something that's going to come to you in the future, is because we're going to have to figure out how much we want for it, where we going to claim any liability, or where all the liability is going on the person that's going to rent it. And plus, we've got to make sure that that $150,000 that's left will be enough to do what needs to be done.
Okay. Well, I mean, I applaud their efforts towards the kids. I mean, I got 8 kids of my own. I just want to see us do it in a way that no one can question how we're doing it.
No,
I'm not attacking anybody over it by any
Right,
means.
no, I mean, I don't, I'm gonna be straight up. I mean, that's always, I've always been that way, and it's not gonna change. And anytime anybody has any problem with me, come to me directly. Well, you know, because you came to me, and I told you was welcome to come anytime you wanted to come. You know what I'm saying? And then people go behind and try to stab. I don't appreciate it.
I want to say that whenever we toured the health department to look at what needed to be redone, approximately the amount of money it was going to cost and what exactly the building needed, the only 2 individuals that showed up were from the budget committee. No individuals from the buildings was there. So that was another opportunity that the buildings people could have looked at the building, but
I had a dentist appointment,
couldn't attend.
and I hadn't been in a year, and I wasn't gonna cancel my appointment.
So, I mean, I'm just saying.
No, and this is
If
no
you want to be
time.
part, you've got to do your part.
Okay, item number 8 on the agenda is, yours done, what?
Yeah.
Approve or disapprove Tabitha Robinson as notary. Do I hear a motion either way?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Motion made to approve and second, yeah, yes. Do we need to do roll call?
Michael Chandler. Kell Crane.
Yes.
Jordan DeLon.
Yes.
Tabitha Denny.
Yes.
Terry Hickey.
Yes.
Terry Hodges. Kenny Smith.
Yes.
Brick Wall,
Yes.
Michael Woodley.
Yes.
Anybody wish to change your vote? Motion carried. Item number 9. Approve, disapprove Denise Austin and Jessica DeLon to the Van Buren County Agriculture Extension Board. Everybody understand what we're doing?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve.
I have a question. How were the individuals selected?
I guess Mr. Binkley and his,
Yeah, please.
First individual was selected based on representation, Ms. Denise Austin. So the two people that are rolling off is Ms. Linda Simmons and Dr. Bailey are the two that are rolling off. And we needed somebody from that side of the mountain. So that was the first one. Then the second thing was we looked at the makeup of the board and to make sure that each basically district had at least one, and some of them's gonna have two, but to make sure nobody had three, But the first one is based on we need somebody from that third district.
Thank you.
more questions? Your motion to approve him. Did you make that?
I made that.
I'll second.
Second, Michael? Roll call, you don't hear, all in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried, motion carried. Okay, number 10, new business, exclusions of solid waste fee for Robert, I can't pronounce that.
Essenbacher?
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody, what's the deal here?
The deal right there is he came in after had the meeting the week before. He came in the next Monday morning he wanted the exclusion from the $18 trash thing also. All it is a camper pole next to I guess pond, lake, large pond or small lake, I guess whichever one you would. Right. And he's just got all he has there is just a plug-in. Where does he live?
I think he lives on Rocky River.
Okay.
He lives, I don't know. He said Rocky River, but he also has property in Manchester, so I don't know exactly which one is his residence, but we do know him though,
Right.
he lives over by us.
Is he gonna set a levy up anytime on that property, anything like that?
No, it's just there to run.
During the 4th of July?
It's got like an irrigation pump or something in
Yeah.
the pond.
I've got a picture if anybody
That's
wants to
just a
see it.
pole with a,
I understand that, but
I know, I've thought about that too.
He bought the property so his wife could fish.
That's literally all they do. I know what property they're talking about now, so.
Any action?
So you can see it. Just
I was gonna wait for him to get done.
So the motion on this, if he takes up residence on this property, then we can bring it back up.
I think so.
Yeah, I would think so. Well, if he builds anything on it, the tax assessor group should get it, and then we should know that it's to start charging. I would assume.
I make a motion to approve.
You hear a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Crane Woodley. No, I'm sorry,
Chandler.
Chandler. I have used last names. All in favor? Any opposed?
I oppose also.
Smith and Denny opposed. Motion carried. Mr. Mayor, you got some new business?
Yeah, under the other new business that I have, first of all, we had an insurance meeting this afternoon at 1 o'clock. And the state came, and our employees can get insurance through one of their programs now. It's been extended from where it was just teachers only. Now it can be for, actually, it can be for county commissioners too, as far as that goes. But what the state is needing for us to do is have a special call meeting to pass it one way or the other so that they know what they do, because this is due in March. It's not due the end of July, starting July 1st, you know, as a new year. Why they did it March 1st, I don't know, but that's the situation that we're in.
You said there have to be an X amount of staff that want to get it?
They have to be 20 employees, wasn't it, Michael, that they said that they had to have? Yeah, half. Yes. Yes, and so their people and our people added together should give the number that they're, the way we understood it. Or any county commissioners that would want.
You're eligible if you want it.
You're eligible if you want it. They had 4 plans that you could take one of 4 plans. Everybody didn't have to take the same as long as you had the 20 number for the whole plan. Isn't that what you understood?
Yeah, as long as they had half the.
Yeah.
Would we be saying, or be looking into,
I've got
if they proposed a good plan, then we'd look at it, or would
Well,
it be
what-
agreeing to it?
that right now, when she gets back today, she was going to send us all the information. And once she sent all the information, then I will be able to bring it to you for y'all to decide how much of it you want to fund. And I'm gonna bring you the amount of money that they pay for the employees that want the insurance, that has the insurance now. And so then it'd be left up to y'all to what you want to do with it, if you want to go with it or stay with the plan. The old plan that we have now is going up 3%. They told us 30 the other day, but then, no, it's 4% now. And when the fella came with the paperwork, it was an increase of 4% with a $7,500 deductible. And I think this is what, $750 is the deductible. But we'll have all that information from you, and then they can choose if we want to just pay so much, like we're paying now for the employees that have it, and then them pay the difference. That's left up to them, is the way I understood it. Well, we're actually paying $260 something, I think it is. I think it's just wait, let me get you the real numbers. Let's don't go with numbers that we don't know.
When do you want to have the meeting?
Well, when's good for you?
Is the 31st all right, everybody?
As long as I have,
Pretty quick if they don't get that extension.
that's what I'm saying, they've got to have it.
Can we do it next week?
Well, if we get the literature back from the state, I've got to give you a 5-day notice first.
I mean, it's 7 from tonight, that's what I'm saying.
If she gets it back to us tomorrow, well, I can probably have it to you. You may not have it in hand 5 days before.
What?
So you just want to do the 31st, that way it gives them enough time.
That's what I thought.
The 31st?
Is everybody all right with the 31st? It won't take long at all.
I mean, that's
That's what I'm saying, you know. We'll say it on the
I just
31st.
asked for a motion then for,
Well, I mean, we don't have to have a motion to set a meeting, don't reckon, do we?
that was the only reason I would want a motion for.
We'll have a special call meeting on the 31st concerning insurance. Yes?
And so, yes, I do have one other thing. Finally, this started in 2022 of the repair of the courthouse top.
Yeah, yeah.
here is the contract, just pass it around for everybody to see. And Howard told me what to do, since it had 2022 on it, to mark it, anything out 2022 and change it. Plus, Greg's name was on it. This is already passed commission already. This is for
Yeah, should
Ms.
have been done.
Reese's records as much as anybody, so for when they do any audits, they can see that for it to pass through. So I do need that acknowledged, well, after you look at it.
And when's he gonna do this?
Let's just change the dates in the name.
Yeah,
He is, the dates are on the second, he's gonna start it, anywhere from, he's going to buy material tomorrow, and then he's got to February the 28th to fix it. And it's for $5,000 is what the contract is there. He's supposed to, yes, he asked where the parts were to get today, and I told him to get with you and, you can show him where you are. Yes, he does
that was in
know.
the deal. That was in the deal.
It was in the deal, yes,
That's
it
right.
was in the deal.
Yes.
So what was the reason it's not already completed?
Now, that I can't answer.
He wasn't come up and do it.
He's had this contract he just hadn't come done it.
He hadn't come, no, I called him,
He
I
just
think
hadn't
4 or
been,
5 days after I came in.
the wheelbar just hadn't been pushed, that's all I'm saying.
And, well, whatever day I called Chris, you had his number, cell phone number for me to call, and I called him. It wasn't long after I was in here, and he finally came by today. He will be cutting a hole up in the top, to make a door to come out, to go out for any future repairs. Because he's got to go up through the old courthouse to do the work.
You need us to approve?
I think you just need it for your records, just to acknowledge it. Is that all you need?
Acknowledge it for the record.
What do you want me to say?
I'll add it. I'll add it.
Just,
Acknowledge it for the record.
Has he got a certain time he's gonna have it done by?
that's what he said, by the 28th of February.
February.
It's gotta be completed by the 28th of February. Is that in there?
Yes.
The completion
Yes,
date?
I think
will
it's
be?
on page 2 or 3. Okay, I knew it was on one of the two, I couldn't remember.
February 28th, yep.
I mean, if he can get a week of fair weather, it'll be done. If it takes him, I doubt if it takes him that long, but I don't know how long it'll take. Because he's got to pull everything up the side of the building.
I guess I need to ask for a motion to acknowledge the contract. Is that, or what do I need
Just
to?
say for the record.
For the
Just
record?
acknowledge it for the record, and then I'll add it.
All right. Do I have to do anything? Okay, good. Anything else, Mr.
No,
Sutton?
that's all I have.
Chairman, I have something.
Okay.
The jail and the administration building, the debt we have, can we see some paperwork on that sometime or another?
Yeah, you can see, all you gotta do is come up there and it's there in black and white, yes. It'll give you the dates that it's due and how much is due, and the interest ranges,
It's,
well, one point something to 2.5.
Yeah, it fluctuates.
What was it? What's
a
happened? You
balloon
got a
I have
copy,
a
you came
copy
up,
of it.
you came up there and got a copy of it. So yes, come up there and you can we'll help you run a copy off if you want one. That's no problem.
We pay approximately $250-something thousand a year on principal and about $150-something thousand on interest.
And it's a locked-in rate. That's the good part.
We need to look at that. I mean, when we went down there in Franklin, you know, they told us about where they loan money, you know. Can we get a cheaper interest rate? Something else
I
on
don't
that?
think if you try, I mean, a person can try. It don't hurt to try, but I don't think anybody's gonna give you a cheaper interest rate
They tried it
now to
before,
what it
couldn't
was
afford
then. Because the interest rate, I guess, when that was done was, what,
Bond
1,
note, instead of on a bond note.
2 at the most? It wouldn't,
It was like 4%. We got, like you said, 1.5, 2.5, if I'm not mistaken.
it
I think
varies.
it's like 2.1 right now. I think this year was 2.1.
Can't
Okay.
go above nor below.
I did read it, but I couldn't remember what each phase was, but it did have it.
Anybody got anything else? Anything from the audience?
Talked to Mr. Sullivan. I went down to Lisa's office to see if I could find anything on Committee A and Committee B differences. And it's a gray area, and I believe it's because it goes back to Kelly Dishman's era. And probably if he had rules written out for exactly what it was for trade services, it probably burned it. And like I told you, Mr. Hippie, all I was asking for is if maybe y'all could get together and make some clarity on that so we did understand it better. Because the commissioners don't all understand it, and we don't understand it, it just helps.
It's just like I told you, and when I came in 3 years ago, I was on B, and I was told that Committee B would concern the buildings and the roads. Committee A more or less concerned the finances of the county, but that's all I was told and all I know, but I will try to find out, we'll try to find something somewhere.
I scoured to see how I was, I tried to go back to the other records and I couldn't find anything, so it's probably something that was done and worth it.
Good have.
Well, in part of the CTAS, it states in there that the mayor has the right to set the members to the
Yes.
committees that he wants.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
It don't list the duties.
it does not address the duties.
It don't list the duties of each.
But I tell you what
of
we
each
can
committee.
do. Since we're gonna have a special call next time, we can add that to the agenda, as long as it's on the agenda before you start, and iron this thing out and get it over with.
Establish the duties of the committees.
Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, that would be the
Yeah,
best way to do it.
yeah. Anybody else? I hear a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Woodley made the motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Hey, you can sit there.